Well, you know what? Back in 1983, the Juno Awards, they were looking at all the promising male vocalists, and they decided that this was the most promising male vocalist that year. And I tell you what, I think he vindicated that decision. Kim Mitchell, Canadian singer, songwriter, has had such a remarkable career, is in Calgary. He's performing tonight at the Grey Eagle. He's in studio with us here today. Kim Mitchell, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
My goodness, I'm great. I'm great. Glad you could stop by. I know you're performing tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I want to ask you, first of all, because you've got this new collaboration. It's an old song, but a new collaboration with the Bare Naked Ladies, as a matter of fact. How did that all come together?
Yeah, the song was released in 1977, so it's 42 years old. And it's been a real strong song live for decades. So I was in the middle of recording a bunch of laid-back material and was thinking, why don't I recut this song? And in keeping, I really think Canadian musicians should be doing more collaborations. So it happens in the hip-hop world, so in the pop world. So I thought, well, let's get something going here. And I thought, who would be great singing this tune? Because it sort of needs a lot of good harmonies. And I thought of Bare Naked Ladies. So called them up, and they were totally into it. And they're great guys, great men, and really focused. They're funny, but yes, they were really hard workers during the session.
So it's just, is that easy, where you just pick up the phone, guys, let's do a collab? And
I happen to have his number in my phone. A really interesting thing happened. Well, not interesting. It was a real tender moment happened during the recording of that song too. As Gord Downey was in the next studio, and he came in and sat on the couch and had to listen to a playback, and then got up and hugged us and kissed us all. And he was gone a month later, and we have that all on film. And it was in the first video. We checked with his family, but I decided to take it out because I didn't want to take any heat from people going, "Oh, you're just trying to."
Because that's the song, and this goes back. I mean, I mentioned the 1983 Juno, but you were almost a veteran by that point, because the song goes back to your days with the band Max Webster, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. Max Webster in the 70s. That's right.
So what keeps you going after all these years?
The love of what I do. We're all. I keep saying this, that we're all here to do something for the planet, humankind. I want to bring happiness to people through my music. So.
You spent a bit of time doing some radio, too, with our sister station Q107 out in Toronto.
That's right, 11 years.
Was that like you stepping away from music, or were you juggling both for all those years?
Well, I made the radio career a priority because it had to be. It was a drive thing, Monday to Friday. So, but they were really good. If I had gigs, they'd have people. So I sort of got to play a little bit. I was sort of shoving the whole music side. I put it on hold a little bit and just did stuff on the weekends. Yeah.
It's a much different business now, isn't it? Especially when you look at the 80s. Yeah. I mean, compared to today.
Sure, with streaming and the way music is consumed. Yeah, it's very, very different.
In terms of the live show.
Yeah.
That hasn't really changed much.
No, it hasn't. You know, I remember Mick Jagger saying that the Rolling Stones, they didn't really make a whole lot of money selling records. It was all the money they made was from live. And it's sort of been like that with my career as far as making a living and having a house and a car and a pet, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it's not just a job, obviously. I mean, it's...
No.
It has to be more than that.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm a lucky person that way. I think of people who get up some days and they're not really into what they're doing. It's sad to see that, because I feel so lucky that I really love what I do. And I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's hard work. There's a lot of hard work involved to do anything well. Yeah. So you can do this, do what you're doing. There's a craft to it that you have to work at.
There is. So when you perform, I mean, when you perform those hits, the ones we remember from the 80s, Rock and Roll Duty, I'm a Wild Party, do you still feel as passionate about those songs as you did then? Or is it, well, I know the fans love those songs, so I'll do it for the 10,000th time, right? So how does it feel to you still?
Well, it's a great question. I keep myself inspired, and how we do that is we'll change up little stuff here and there. They're all my kids, the songs,
Well, yeah.
And But part of what you said is true. I am about customer service and rock and roll. Right. I mean, really, they're paying customers. So what do you want to hear? You want to hear those songs? I'm going to play them for you. But I want to get into them because music and live performing is about transmitting an energy. And if you're just standing up there phoning it in, people pick up on that.
Yeah.
So you can't be doing that.
All right. So it's tonight at the Great Eagle Resort. And where are you off to after this?
Going back home for a little bit. We just kind of came out for this weekend, and then things are going to start firing up in spring again. So.
All right. Well, I think there's still some tickets available. Folks want to check it out tonight. Should be a great show. Kim Mitchell, great having you with us here today. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
You too. That is the one and only Kim Mitchell, and he's in town in concert tonight at the Great Eagle Resort. All right. 403-974-8255 is our number. When we come back, we'll get some reaction. This announcement from the federal government today that they're going to implement a procedure, a plan to give pardons to folks who are convicted of simple possession of cannabis, something a lot of people have been waiting to hear since legalization. What's it going to mean in practice? We'll get into that coming up after 2 o'clock. Rob Breakenridge with you. This is Afternoons on 770 CHQR.